Litecoin and Bitcoin are the bulls back. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Thursday. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting out with Litecoin, moving on to Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at my favorite chart comparison, which is the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. And we've been following that since January, and I'll show you why I believe we're still on our way to 46,000 by the end of the year. So definitely stick around to the end if you think that sounds interesting. Also, there is some links below in the description below the video. There's a free Discord group. Awesome community, guys. Definitely check it out if you just want to join something to talk about crypto or you want to learn to chart. It's a great place to check out. It's totally free. We don't charge for anything on this channel. I don't believe in people that do charge, especially to teach people how to trade, because there's so much free information on the internet, guys. Don't pay these guys. They're screwing up the new people coming in and getting ripped off by these guys are getting scared off. It's really screwing up the community. Don't get sucked into that crap. If they're asking you to pay for something, stay away, steer clear. Also, there's some affiliate links down there too. If you do want to dabble in leverage trading, I have some exchange links down there. There's also a COINBASE and ABRA link that help you get free crypto if you sign up and make a deposit. So definitely check those out. The newest affiliate link down there is the KRAKEN Exchange. Definitely check that out. That's the exchange I use. So anyways, let's get on with the video and see what's going on. Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. With that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, as I do post every day to try to keep everybody updated with what's going on with the market. So, and with that being said, also, guys, helps channel out tremendously if you just smash those likes. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the market and where it might be headed. I like to read your guys' comments, so let's get on with it. All right, looking at Litecoin on the macro chart on the weekly, and if we look here, we're making higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI, guys. That is hidden bullish divergence. So we are looking for a move up, in my opinion. And now let's look at the daily chart. So on the daily, we're going to look at my price target as of right now. I do believe we'll get higher than this by the end of the year, but to show you how I got that, I'm looking at this as a cup and a handle forming now. And if this plays out as a cup and a handle, the neckline is right around that $146 range, and a break of that would, my target would be 271. Now, that doesn't mean we just shoot up one big candle. Obviously, we're going to have resistance and on the way, so keep that in mind. But that is my target if we break this 146 area. We'll go into the 4 hour and look at the more immediate price action here in a minute, but I do want to look at the RSI first. If we look at the daily RSI, we were in a rising channel. Now we're in a falling channel that fell out of the rising channel. It does look like we are poised to move up from here. Keep in mind, there's a possibility we come down and retest this, which I think is less likely. Let's look at the 4 hour. If you guys watched yesterday, I had this channel or wedge drawn in here, the falling wedge or falling channel. And I said if we broke out of this, we're going to have a nice move up, which obviously we did do. In the RSI, you can also find patterns. It does look like a small bull flag forming here that would bring the RSI back up in this area. We'll look at that in the price action. All right, so here's the more immediate prices I'm looking for, and I'll show you why and what I see is happening. So this looks a lot like a bull flag forming here. I have this triangle here, and the measured move off of that would be measuring this as the flagpole, and we bring it up here, and that shows around the 107, but the top of this falling channel is around the 105, so I'm more looking at that area. If we do break the top of this channel, I believe we'll come back down, test the top, and continue on up. And the measured move of a break of 105 would be the width of this falling channel to the breakout, which gets us around the 135 range, guys. So I'm definitely looking in that area. But I do want to take a look at the bearish case. Could this be a A, B, and a C? Very possible. And what we do is measure A, which is right here, and put it up to the top of B. And that would get us around the $76 range. Definitely possible, guys. I'm steering more towards, let me get this. This was yesterday's target. We went a little below it. We went to right around the 86.05. I had it at 87.25, but I'm gonna get that out of the way to clean up the chart. But definitely keep an eye on this. I do believe we're most likely gonna break up here, and that would line up with the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. So that is my more immediate targets, guys. If we do break down out of this, I do see us probably going back down to the $76 range, which would line up with the support over here. If that was to break, worst case scenario, 62 is my absolute worst case scenario, which would be retest of the bottom of this trend line. But I am bullish. I do believe we are heading up to the 105 range, and then we'll see what happens then. If we do break top of this channel, I'm looking at the 135. Let's go on to Bitcoin. All right, looking at Bitcoin on the weekly, same thing. Higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI. Hidden bullish divergence. Let's go into the daily, and I'll give you some price targets. And if you stick around to the end of the video, this is not my end of the year target. It's much higher, but we're going to take a look at what's going on here. So looking at the daily, I have these trend lines drawn off of these wicks. Down here is the white line, which we're going to look at real quick, and I'll show you the more. We'll look into the more immediate price action too in the 4 hour in just a second. But I do want to show you how I got these targets. Looking at this as a bull flag, and this is a flag pull. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you looking at this as a channel, or the green as a triangle, a descending triangle, which we had a bear trap right here. If that is a descending triangle, either way, the measured move is the same, whether this is a falling channel or a triangle, because it is the width of, let me get this in there. It is the width of this falling channel, which is also the width of the triangle. If we were to break out from around, any time in here, we're looking at around the 16,000 range, which would also touch the top of this trend line again. So keep that in mind. Now I want to look at this as a flag pull with a bull flag and a breakout. And again, these targets change depending on where we break this top trend line here. This one right here. Obviously, if it takes longer, it's a lower target. If it's quicker, it's a higher target. But I have that target around 1844. Now, I want to look at the RSI in the daily. And if you watched yesterday's video, let me go back real quick. Yeah, if you watched yesterday's video, I had this target here at the 95.11, which hit almost perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and take that off so we can clean up the charts and see what's going on. Let's look at the daily now. As you can see, I had this falling wedge drawn in here, which we broke out of, came back down and tested. And it looks like we could possibly come back down here and test the top of this channel one more time. Let's look at the 4 hours, see how that looks. All right, in the 4 hour, I had the same thing, falling wedge drawn here, which if you look at this wedge, we broke out of, came back down and tested for support and moved on up. So I do believe it's most likely that we continue up from here. We go into the 4 hour and we'll look at the more immediate price action. And I'll show you how I get my targets. Excuse me. This target up here can change depending on where we hit the top of this triangle, or if you want to look at it as a falling channel. Either way, I got it at around 12,000 right now. But let's look at what's going on here. I do want to point out that I have a triangle drawn here, but this could end up being, draw it in real quick, this could end up being more of a bull flag. So if we do drop lower, I wouldn't get stressed out, but it could, you know, bounce down in this area before continuing up. I just want to make you aware of that. But I do have it as a bull flag right now, and a measured move off of that. From this point here, which if we look at the 1 hour, you can see this is where from this breakout is where I made this bull flag. I'm going to go back to the 4 hour. And if we were to break up out of this flag, my target is around the 10,400 to 10,500 range, which also lines up with the 200 EMA, guys. I would look for some possible resistance there, and then maybe come back down to the 55, which is around the 10.3 range, and maybe bounce around there a little bit and then continue up. Also, we could look at this whole thing as the flag pull here with this little tight flag, and the measured move off of that would be right around the $10,800 range, which would coincide with this old resistance over here. So that's what I'm looking at there. And if that was to happen, then, you know, we may come down to the 10.5 or 10.4 area and bounce around in here before continuing up. But I am pretty damn bullish right here, guys. I know everybody's calling for the 8,500, and I think too many people are calling for it. That's why I don't believe it's going to happen, but we will look at that. And that would be looking at this as an A, B. If we measured the A, we put it to the top of B, that would get us around the $8,600, $85 to $8,600 range, which is what everybody's calling. And I believe too many people are waiting for it, and I believe they're going to be disappointed and not going to see it. Just like if you remember with 6,000, nobody thought 6,000 was going to break, and they thought it was going to be super hard resistance, and it was nothing. We blew right through it. And if you've watched my videos back then, I know a lot of you guys did. I was making fun of people saying, you know, everybody expecting 6,000 to, you know, bounce us back down and to give us heavy resistance. I would see you FOMOing in at 7,000, and that did happen. That was pretty epic. That was fun. But anyways, so yeah, that's my more immediate price action. The bearish case scenario, like I said, we go down from here to the $8,500 to $8,600 range. The absolute worst case scenario would be the $8,100 to $8,200 range, which would be looking at this rising broadening wedge here that we broke out of here. That'd be coming down to test this for support. But guys, again, we have to keep in mind that that is possible, but I am looking more towards the bullish scenario here. I think we've had enough correction here, in my opinion, to continue our parabolic move up, because we are in a parabolic bull run, regardless of what anybody says. That is my opinion. And now we're going to look at the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly. And as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, we have been watching this since January, which is right around here, right before we broke this yellow trend line and the white trend line. Now, if you notice, I have a white trend line drawn in here from these points of support from the old bear market going across, and we are flirting with this line now, using it as support and resistance back and forth. Also have this blue line drawn in from all of these supports before the breakdown. We blew through that one, came back down, tested it with a wick, and continued up. So I'm definitely looking at this. I'll show you in the weekly chart. Also keep in mind on this bottom trend line, we touched twice and started our parabolic move up. If we look at gold, I'm gonna go back to Bitcoin. That's why my 46 to 47,000 is my end of the year target. I still believe this is in play, guys, and I'm gonna switch back and forth so you can see the resemblance of the pattern. Pattern is a pattern, in my opinion, and they usually play out pretty damn well. And I know some people are calling it a fractal. I don't believe it's a fractal. I believe a pattern is a pattern. And people are saying it's a fractal because gold's in the weekly, Bitcoin's in the daily. But if you look at a triangle in the daily of one chart and a triangle in the hourly of one chart, they usually play out the same because they are a pattern, not a fractal. So that's why I'm looking at this like this. I believe this is a pattern, and the commodities are pretty similar. So let's take a look at gold and see what happened. Like I said, they're not going to play out candle for candle, but it's, you still get the idea. I have that same blue trend line drawn in here, which we broke past, never came back, and the white trend line, just like in Bitcoin. And we flirted with this area the same way. And then once we did get out of this triangle, we had a huge move up. I do believe that's what's most likely going to happen right in this area. So definitely keep an eye out for that, guys. I also want to show you the other part we've been watching since January, and that is the RSI. I have these two trend lines drawn here, the exact same trend lines. This is the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market, where on this trend line we had two touches of resistance before starting the bull market. This is the 2017 bull market followed by the 18 bear market, two touches of resistance on this trend line before starting the bull market. Excuse me. As you can see, this RSI right in here looks a lot like this in here, and you can see what happened afterwards, and we had a long bull run. Will it play out exactly like that? Who knows, but I just wanted to point out the similarities. Now let's look at the monthly. And again, guys, we've been watching this all since January on this channel. I have these two arcs drawn in here. This is 2013 bull run followed by the bear market, 2017 bull run followed by the bear market. In 2013, we had 4 lows in the RSI before starting the bull market. That's what each one of these arrows represents. Same thing in 2018 bear market, 4 lows before continuing up. The difference here, guys, is this is probably going to be more like this. So if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely consider subscribing by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head, and ticking the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think of the market, if you agree with me or not. I like to read your comments, and I do read all the comments, so definitely do that. Also, I may do a live stream tonight, so look for that. And I will, if I don't do the live stream tonight, I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching.